Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of Select vs. Everize. Spawning in the 3 o'clock position as the yellow Terran, we have Everize. Spawning in the 8 o'clock position as the blue Terran, we have Team Dignitas Select. This is going to be a TVT on Metalopolis. In Game 1 on Shattered Temple, we saw a very nice play by Select where he completely contained his opponent. Early game, Select did try to get some early harassment with Hellion as well as a few Banshees. Managed to get a few kills, but was unable to do enough damage to keep him ahead in the worker count. Everize did manage to come back a little bit and deal some damage after Select's harassment, but it was really the contain that Select managed to establish on Everize that really got him the win. He was able to contain his opponent with siege tanks and managed to maintain air control on Everize, and Everize was just not able to establish any more than 3 bases while Select expanded all over the map as he wished. Everize tried to get some drop play in to try to counter some of the pressure being put on by Select, but was unable to do too much damage to Select. So going into Game 2 on Metalopolis, we will be able to see whether Select is going to go again for that harass style of play where he goes for that quick Hellion and quick Banshee and try to deal some damage, or whether he's going to revert to a more standard style of play, since the more standard style of play is what got him the win in Game 1. Now, like I mentioned in Game 1, I'm not sure where this best of 3 is being played, or the reason that this best of 3 is being played. There are suspicions that it might be from the Intel Extreme Masters tournament, but that is at this time unconfirmed, and I'm going to have to do some more research to try to figure out where exactly, or the reason that this match was played. But as I said, it is a best of 3, and it was played on Battle.net. 1 gas now down for Select, and a bit of a wall-off. This is a little bit different from his style of play in Game 1. In Game 1, he did place some buildings farther back to try to hide them for a little while from Everize, but now he is going for a more standard contain. A factory now going up for Select means that he is probably going for another Destiny Cloud Fist style build where he goes 1-1-1, and amazingly, on the Everize side of things, we also have Everize going for a quick factory. So, we might see Destiny Cloud Fist style of play from both players. Did I say that right? Destiny Cloud Fist. Yes, Destiny Cloud Fist is the correct terminology, coined by Husky, actually, for that 1-1-1 style of Terran play. Both players pretty identical right now. Both players almost identical in Harvester count. And both players getting their factory up right now. There is a tech lab down that is now swapping for Select, and looks like a reactor is going to be going down for the barracks. I was going to see if whether he was going to swap this to the factory. We might see a swap here in just a moment. That would mean that Everize is going to be going for a lot of early Hellions. But no, it looks like Everize is going for that 1-1-1 style of Destiny Cloud Fist build. On the Select side of things, we have Blue Flame now being researched, so it looks like Select is going to be going for some more Hellion harass at the beginning of this Game 2. Blue Flame is now coming up, and as well as a expansion command center now for Select. So I like this style of play by Select. Select always looking to put some pressure on his opponent while he expands. This is a style of play that I really like. Anytime you're applying pressure on your opponent and forcing your opponent to stay in his base, you want to be doing something economic focused. Anytime you're doing something aggressive, you want to follow it up with an economic style of play. And that is exactly what Select is going to be doing. Select just now scouting his opponent. I'm not a Terran player, I am a Zerg player, so I don't know if this is standard to always scout this late, but Everize definitely scouted early, and Select just waiting both in Game 1 and Game 2 to scout quite late. A second Hellion is now coming across the field. Blue Flame is about to be up, so Select is going to be looking to deal a lot of damage. These Hellions are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Marines with this with that blue flame upgrade. There are now some Marines moving across the map as well, so this is a very deadly attack here by Select, considering the army that Everize has right now. These Marines are going to go down very fast to these blue flame Hellions, and that means that these Marines are going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Some damage there being dealt by those Hellions. And Everize's Marines now moving out, and oh my goodness, Select is moving into the back of Everize's base, and Everize has not scouted this, so Everize is moving in, and his forces are going to be completely out of position. The Marines of Select now moving in to try to start taking some damage to that command center, but Everize not pulling back. Looks like he's going to try to come in to the base of Select and try to deal some damage of his own. And did I see that correctly? Yes, there is a Banshee now in the base of Select from Everize, dealing a lot of damage, getting a lot of worker kills. 9 kills so far for that Banshee. That was a lot of damage there dealt by those by that Banshee, and Select forcing this command center to lift off and pull away, because all Everize has is a few Marines here, and he does see that there are a lot of blue flame Hellions now on the map for Select, so a lot of pressure being dealt by both players. The second Banshee now in the main of Select. Oh my goodness, this is going to deal massive amounts of damage. Select trying to keep his workers away from these Marines, but these Marines coming down after these, oh my god, here come the blue flame Hellions, which are going to deal massive amounts of damage to these Marines. The workers of Select moving in now to try to deal some damage to those Marines, and it looks like Select has successfully held off that attack. Looks like he was forced to pull back on that attack. If we check out the Harvester count right now, Select is behind 16 to 24 Harvesters. Checking out the workers kill count, Everize has killed 14 Harvesters to Select's 9. Select now moving in though with these blue flame Hellions, and this is a lot of blue flame Hellions moving up the ramp of Everize, and these Marines are going to need to stay far back, and oh no, the wall off is not complete there by Everize, and those blue flame Hellions do manage to get into the base to deal a lot of damage. Looks like they were, not as many got into the base as Select would have hoped for, but 2 have managed to get in and are getting a lot of worker kills. Oh my god, Everize needs to get those workers pulled back as quickly as possible, and that might have evened out that Harvester count. Yes, Everize is now down to 12 Harvesters, and he is still getting more. 8 Harvesters! He's only down to 8 Harvesters right now, and that was just very nice blue flame Hellion play there by Select. This puts him way ahead in the Harvester count, and Select, knowing that he is now dealt a lot of damage, is now transitioning into that standard Marine tank play. He knows he is now ahead. He knew that he was behind in Harvester count, and that he knew he had to do some damage with those blue flame Hellions, and that was just not a solid wall off there by Everize, and those Hellions were able to slip right by and just deal a lot of damage to that worker line. Things are not looking good for Everize. 2 more Hellions now on the field here for Select, checking for the expansion of Everize, because Everize, if there's one thing he needs to do to catch up, that is expand. He really needs to expand and get his economy going to try to catch up to that economy of Select, which is now booming. 23 Harvesters to 13. That is a big Harvester lead for this stage in the game. Checking out the production tab, Everize does have his stim coming down. Yeah, he does have a couple of siege tanks down right now, so he is in a place to defend. Looks like Everize is going to be going for a little bit more drop play, because he knows he is behind in that Harvester count. He knows he's going to have to deal some damage to try to keep up, and drops are a good low-risk way of doing that. Both players now just macroing up a little bit, producing workers. Both players just trying to get their second bases saturated. Select does have these forward Hellions here ready to try to come in and try to deal some damage to the worker line of Everize. Other than that, a second factory has gone down for Select, and it looks like he is going to be producing more siege tanks. Siege mode is now being researched for... Oh wait, I said second, I meant third. A third factory has now come down. So it looks like Select is going to be going for a much more mech style of play. This reactor factory will allow him to get a lot of Hellions produced, and these tech lab factories are going to be able to get him a lot of siege tanks. So it looks like he's going to be going for a very mech heavy style of play, and he's now moving across the field with these Hellions. Everize does now have Marauders up though, which is a very good unit against Select. As you can see, that Select's Hellions are not able to do that much damage to those Marauders, and those Marauders do quite well against those Hellions. Hellions, Siege Tanks, and Vikings now moving across the map for Select. This is such an interesting style of play, and that is my cell phone going off. Select, these Vikings are going to be able to give the vision to the Siege Tanks that they need to deal their damage from a long way away, and these Hellions are going to be able to decimate these Marine counts. Wow, and Select just moving in very boldly here, just moving into position, even though these Siege Tanks are in position. Oh, and the Hellions are moving in, dealing a lot of damage to those Marines, so many Marine kills going down, and those Siege Tanks were taken out. Select now just moving in very confidently with these 2 Siege Tanks and these 2 Hellions. He knows that he is able to deal a lot of damage here. Doesn't even leapfrog those Siege Tanks in, just moves them in, lets them take damage, and just plants them confidently right in the middle of the natural of Everize. So this is going to contain Everize again to just 1 base. So very nice play here by Select, and oh no, Everize just losing all his reinforcements. More Hellions streaming in, and even a Banshee streaming in now to deal damage to that Siege Tank up on the high ground, and there is going to be nothing that Everize can do about this. Select has managed to maintain air control, and there is the GG from Everize. That means that Select has taken this best of 3 in this series. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was a very well played TVT by Select. I love Select. He's such a good player. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this game. Please subscribe. Please comment. GG, guys. Glitch out. That was awkward. That was so awkward. Why did I end that so awkwardly? That was going so well. I don't know what happened there, guys. I don't know.